My name is Faith Drinko, and my business idea is How to Business. Essentially, it is a service that will go about an alternative way for young entrepreneurs to learn about the business industry without having to spend thousands of dollars on a formal college education. And I chose this company because I was told I needed to go on a soul searching mission, and my other company, which I was doing based off of something that has already started, did not fit the rubric for this at all, and I was not getting the feedback I had wanted. Therefore, this is not something I ever plan on starting up. However, I was told to find my passion, and the one thing I am passionate about is how horrible the American education system is. With that being said, a quote from U.S. News is, "We tolerate failing teachers in a way that we do not tolerate failing doctors or lawyers," and pretty much that means that education just isn't seen as something that's as important. And due to it not being as important as other professions, teachers are not paid the wage that they should. Therefore, there's less of an incentive to actually do your job well. And then the average student debt is $30,000, and that's not including any type of interest on top of that. And that also includes the average student debt loan, like repayment, is over $1,000 a month, which is more than the payment on a car that has the same price tag on it. And then the cookie cutter education part circles back to the first part, as education just isn't seen as something that's very important. The education system is very, very generalized, and it doesn't fit everyone's needs. It's checking off a box instead of actually sitting down and teaching people what they need to understand. As I mentioned earlier, the main purpose for this company is for people who do not want to go to college, or did go and they didn't learn what they needed to be able to get help with their business ventures and really understand the business industry in itself. And with people under 40 being our target market, 62% of Americans under 40 do not believe college is worth it. And that is where the value in this company comes into play. As we do not have a cookie cutter type education system, we will have trained professionals who are very successful in their industry. They will be talking one-on-one with each client, going over everything that they need. Therefore, instead of having someone who's trained and successful in retail isn't helping someone who wants to start up a restaurant, as that just wouldn't be very helpful to the client. So what How to Business will do is essentially the client will meet with some form of receptionist who will figure out who they should be meeting with, and then the mentor has the power to decide how many people they want to meet with and when they would like to meet. And all of this is done over Zoom or FaceTime, just so that the company doesn't have to have a brick and mortar store, and therefore they could have more business by doing it remotely. This also allows the payment structure to go, almost all the proceeds go directly to the mentor to give them incentive to actually want to do it, and then a very, very small amount will go toward the company. As I said, this is not something that I ever plan on starting up, which is why I don't have a cut in it. It just goes to show that teachers or mentors need to be incentivized in order to do the best job that they can. And then due to this, people who are very successful in the industry that the client wants to go into will be teaching them. Therefore, it will be very tailored to the client. And this is a necessity because millions of kids who would like to go to college can't, because they just don't have the means because of how expensive it is. And then on top of that, I know that I personally would have rather gone a direct route instead of having to take classes that I really don't care too much about just to check off a box for the school to get funding. Therefore, that is why this is a huge necessity. We need to normalize other alternative routes besides college, or besides just directly going into a trade, because trades just aren't what some people want to do, and I believe that this very much needs to be normalized. And then these are just the sources that I used.